You probably know Game Freak as one of the company names that appear when you boot up a Pokémon game. Game Freak was actually founded as a magazine before getting into game development. And while it's true that they haven't developed very many games outside of Pokémon, they've actually made a few other very unique but much lesser known games, including platformers like Drill Dozer, one of the last great Game Boy Advance releases. But in this episode, we're going to take a look at another Game Freak developed platformer, released on the Super Nintendo almost 5 years before Pokémon. I'd never heard of Smart Ball until fairly recently, and I was surprised when I ran across a copy in a local store for only $5. I'd say that's a small price to pay for an interesting bit of Game Freak history. And check it out, published by Sony. So from the Americanized artwork, we see what looks like a real cool ball with some toot or whatever. A fierce-looking bird with fire raining down from the heavens upon a modern metropolis that we can probably assume is dark and gritty. Turn on the game and the illusion is shattered. Surprise! Smart Ball is actually loaded with bright colors and all of the cuteness that you'd expect from Japan, with absolutely no doomsday cityscapes to be seen. But there are firebirds that drop, fire. Well, Sony, you tried. So what we've really got here is a game known as Jerry Boy in Japan. And the main character is not so much a smart-mouthed ball as a cute little jelly blob. Oh, get it? Jelly? Jerry? Anyway, the story setup, which is totally excised from the North American version aside from the ending, is that Jerry is a prince who was turned into a jelly slime thing by a wizard because Jerry's brother was jealous of his fiancée, Princess Emmy. Jerry's abilities are fairly simple but different enough from the norm to feel refreshing. He can stick to walls and even ceilings. It would be nice if there were a way to leap from wall to wall, but it's still pretty neat. Attacks are a bit unique too. You sort of like stretch out by holding the up or down direction. If you time the hit right, the enemy you connect with will be defeated. It is a bit weird, but it works. You also collect red balls that spawn from plants. How nice that they tell you what you've picked up. You can hold up to 9 at a time and throw them at enemies in an arc. But you can also find a few other types of balls. Blue recovers your health, clear expands your health meter for the level, green grows a vine that helps you get to places that you couldn't reach otherwise, and white lets you jump much higher than normal. There's also an iron ball that slows you down, but it can pass through multiple enemies and can be reused. Pretty handy in the right situation. One annoying thing is that if you're carrying any upgrades, you can't pick up any health recovery or additional balls without dropping the item. Kind of a tough call sometimes, especially when it comes to the jump upgrade. The game does have infinite continues and actually has some pretty tricky stuff. It's not especially difficult and can be beaten in just a few hours, but it's also mildly frustrating at times. A sequel was supposedly canceled by Sony at the last minute. It would have been great to see these mechanics expanded upon, but Smart Ball is still a pleasant little platformer that's just different enough to stand out on its own. If you see it for cheap, it's definitely worth picking up. As the credits roll, you'll see names like Satoshi Tajiri, founder of Game Freak and creator of Pokémon, as well as Ken Sugimori, Pokémon art director and lead designer of the original 151 Pokémon. It's kind of surreal to play a game made by the same people as Pokémon that has absolutely nothing to do with Pokémon. I wish that Game Freak had more opportunities to branch out from Pokémon, because games like Smart Ball, Drill Dozer, and the relatively few other games that they've developed show that they're capable of far more than just RPGs. As it turns out, they've got a lot of fun and creative ideas for other genres too.